Okay, in today's lesson we're going to show how to form chords in any key. So you'll be able to form any major chord, any minor chord, any diminished chord, and any augmented chord. So if we go to the keyboard, we have our two black keys, and the black key to the left is C. We're going to use C as our base, known as the root or keynote, our foundation for forming chords, and then we can apply this to any other key on the piano. So using R for root, what we do to form a major chords have a bright, cheerful feel. We count up 4 notes using all keys on the piano. So there's C, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the space between notes on the piano or in music is known as an interval. We'll come to the formal names later on, but for the moment we just need to be able to count to 4 to form any chord. So here's our second note of the chord, and then we count another 3 notes up from that. 1, 2, 3. And we have the chord of C major. Now, a 3-note chord is known as a triad in music. So this is the triad of C major in root position, because the C, the foundation keynote or root note, is at the bottom of the chord. Now, to form a 4-note chord, we would put the note that is at the bottom also at the top. So we have a full 4-note chord, and we'll see we have C at the bottom and C at the top. So C major as a 4-note chord in root position. Okay, just to recap on that, so you have your root note, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, to form C minor, we have the root note. This time we reverse our count. We go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. C minor chord. And again, we can put the C at the top to make a 4-note chord. Okay, the next chord we're going to look at is diminished. And it's an interval or a count of 3 plus 3 plus 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we can add another note, 1, 2, 3, and put C at the top again. So here's a lovely diminished chord, a 5-note chord. And you'd hear these in a lot of movies and in romantic music for a very dramatic effect. So that's a diminished chord, plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 is the count or interval there. And the other chord we're going to look at today is the augmented chord. So again, using C as our root note, this time we are going to count intervals of plus 4 plus 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and again put the C at the top for a 4-note chord, and that would be C augmented. So let's recap on that. Major is plus 4 plus 3. Minor is plus 3 plus 4. Diminished is plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. And augmented is plus 4 plus 4. Okay. Now, a couple of things to say. To change from major to minor, for instance, all we have to do is drop the middle note of the triad in root position by 1 note. So from major to minor. And if we think of it, minor means smaller than major. And what it means is that gap between this note and the root note becomes smaller, a minor chord. Okay, so major, minor, which is a smaller interval or space between the root note and the middle note of the chord. Now to make it smaller again, we diminish it, and this hence the name. So this time we bring the 5th note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in closer to the keynote as well. So we're making the chord a smaller space. Okay, so major, minor, smaller, smaller again, diminished. And then to augment means to lengthen or to stretch. So we're making the chord bigger. You know, a bigger interval or space between the notes. So that's the first family of chords: major, minor, diminished, and augmented. And that will really cover you for most music written. In fact, for most popular music or rock or blues, it really doesn't go beyond major and minor. Okay, we're going to put that into practice now and see if we can say form chords on the note G. So we want to learn our major, minor, diminished and augmented chords in G. So using our formula for major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, G major, we can put the G at the top, we have a 4-note chord. For minor, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, G minor, and we can put G at the top. Diminished, from G again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. G diminished. And for G augmented, again G, our root note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and G at the top. G diminished. So this simple formula for finding all our chords by just counting, either 3 notes up or 4 notes up, 3 and 4 combination, we're able to find any chord on the keyboard. So I hope this will help you.